What does it look like to love a community rather than to leave it?
She saved my life.
The people here, they care.
Someone cared enough to help them get better.
The hope for Milwaukee is that we come together as one.
Milwaukee, I love you.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee, an out-of-the-world honor for a local teacher. It's all part of the Embedded Teacher Program at Carthage College. Lisa Warner was one of only 4 teachers in the country selected for a zero-gravity flight. But there's something even more unique about this daring teacher. This small school in Dousman, Wisconsin, Lisa Warner is a band teacher at St. Bruno Parish School, but she also has a passion for science.
And then in February, I got to go down to Johnson Space Center.
What is that exercise?
They're doing planks.
They look painful.
Yes, they were.
Warner was one of only 4 teachers in the country selected for a zero-gravity space flight, the only music teacher chosen. What was your immediate reaction when you found out that you were selected?
I couldn't believe it. I grabbed my phone, I texted my husband, I texted my principal, I texted everybody else I knew, my mom, my dad, everybody, because I didn't expect that a band teacher would get to go either.
She took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, May 8th. Her mission was named SOSITA. That stands for Sounds of Space in the Air.
So we had a naming contest for the name of the mission because every NASA mission has a name. You've got the Apollo, the Gemini, the Mercury, and things like that.
The entire school has been a part of this launch. A school contest even helped choose the winning name and patch.
When I fly, I'm going to put that on my arm when I fly on my flight suit. And so then I'll have a piece of the school with me. And
everybody had a little voice.
Yes.
The symbol adorned the backpack Mrs. Warner took on board.
They got to make their own mission patches. And then what I'm going to do is fly with these. They're going to be in my bag for the flight. So their artwork will have flown in zero gravity.
And St. Bruno students worked on the science projects that traveled with Mrs. Warner.
We are so excited.
Principal Mary McDonald is proud of Mrs. Warner and her students.
And in this case, the big kids went into the classrooms of the little kids and demonstrated and explained their experiments.
The flight gives teachers a chance to contribute to microgravity research and NASA space flight technology. Students showed me some of their experiments before they were launched, like the dancing sprinkles.
When we put it up to our instruments, it makes them move and everything. They're just like normal cupcake sprinkles, so they're really easy to do. And then when Miss Warner goes up into 0G, they might react different.
This duo shows off their rhythm experiment. 13-year-old Graham Kelchin explains.
So we'll have a metronome playing at a beat, and we will play with our drums to that beat.
And check out this sound tube experiment with foam beads.
So we have this plastic container that's full of foam beads, and when Liam plays the trombone and I put it next to the bell, then you can see the foam beads vibrate and move forward.
Caleb Hernke and Jacob Ottenad explained their dice experiment.
With zero gravity, due to their having no pull down on the dice, it would continue to rotate and stay in motion. That means that the probability of it landing on a number is 0. In space, because there is nothing interfering with the object, it will be constantly moving forever due to there, like I said, being no interference, which the interference on Earth is gravity pulling it down.
Clearly, kids are enthralled. What do you like best about this class?
I would say the experiments that we do in it. They're very interesting.
What have you learned the most?
We've learned a lot about sound waves this semester.
I really like this class because there's a lot of hands-on experiments that we get to do that are always a lot of fun.
So what happened when Mrs. Warner was in zero gravity for 11 minutes? Check it out. Weightlessness made the cake experiment a bit tough. This is what happened with the sound tube experiment with foam beads. A celestial experience for a courageous and creative teacher.
You bet we are very proud of Lisa, who, might I add, often comes with interesting projects. This is not the only one that Lisa has brought to us.
And Warner says one of her goals,
to show that music is important and has a place at the table in, space exploration and gravity experiments, I think proves its worth to those who may not have experienced music's worth.
She also wants to teach her daughters the sky really is the limit.
Being a mom, I did this because I wanted to show my girls that you can do anything.
And Lisa Warner is teaching us all a lesson about conquering self-doubt and reaching for the stars.
Throughout this whole process, I've kind of been like, I'm the band director. I'm not I love science, but I'm not super strong at physics. I haven't had a physics class since 2000. So, just to look at it and go, yeah, I can do that. And I did earn that spot.
And facing that insecurity means mission accomplished.
That's good.
Mrs. Warner says she has always been a scientific-minded person. Her dad's an engineer and her mom is very creative. They taught her to look at life from different angles. Stay with us after the break. We are kicking off our Juneteenth coverage. We have a very special guest in our studio to talk about everything going on with the parade. One of the best parts of Juneteenth Day, all the food. We're going to give you a taste of one of the delicious options you'll be able to try right after the break. And welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. I have a very special guest with me today. Tony Kearney is the executive director of Northcott Neighborhood House, which is organizing the Juneteenth parade and festivities. And he's been a very busy man, Tony. Now, first of all, I appreciate you taking time to come over here and talk to us. Can you talk about the significance of Juneteenth for people that might not be aware?
Juneteenth is important to the community because, one, it exposes everyone to our culture and our history. It's an American history. It didn't start in 1865. It started with the first Africans coming to America. If we believe history, the first man to die for the freedom of the country was Crispus Attucks. So we have been woven into American history throughout. Unfortunately, on June 19, 1865, General Granger and his troops had to ride in and enforce, not only deliver a message that the slaves were free, they had to enforce freedom. That's a part of history. The reality is that African American history is an important component of American history.
And we
Just
have
as
to
every other.
recognize the enslavement, and that is a very important part of how our country was built, and we have to always remember that. Tony.
Yes, many people are not aware that the slaves built the White House. And even in writing the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. But there have always been people who didn't believe that slavery was right, not just us. You know, the over 1,000 slave uprisings in our history said that, hey, we don't want to be in bondage. But there were also other people who did not believe that human beings should be in bondage.
Yeah, there were people that had a moral compass, you know. And Tony, first of all, okay, I want to talk about Juneteenth and what's happening because we have a lot of exciting, unique things happening this year. Can you share with us some of the things that you've been working on so feverishly over the past few weeks?
Well, Juneteenth kicks off with our Jubilee Parade. A young man named George Apkin is the chairperson of the parade committee. He, at this point, has about 105 entrants. This year, there'll be floats, bands, dance groups, and a competition, which they can actually win cash at. So the judges will be stationed at 5 corners, which is Port Washington, Kiev, Martin Luther King. I was about to say Green Bay. So they'll be there, and they'll get to do their little performance there. Then we'll have our opening ceremony. At that point, we'll introduce Miss Juneteenth and her court again, and the fathers that we're honoring, because this year Juneteenth falls on Father's Day, and it's important for us to honor fathers. So that's one of our big things, to make sure that we do that.
I'm glad you're doing that too on Father's Day. It's perfect.
Yes.
It's something that we need to do. Now, Tony, this is something that really brings the community together. People look forward to it, and it's something that we can actually give our kids a message that, you know, we can come together and we have an important, rich history. Can you talk about handing that tradition down, Tony?
Well, the tradition of always being with Grandma, Grandpa, and them exposing you to, I will say, our oral history.
Yeah, good point.
Now we're able to teach our kids exactly what it means. The last year we started a carnival, which was not really the start. It was bringing something back that Juneteenth had many years ago. But we brought the educational component to the carnival. Rides, they'll be exposed to horsemen and the soldiers being there, you know. So it's really important for them to see part of our history. We have Clinton Rose Park will be set up for teens. And one of the great things about that is law enforcement will be engaged with the teens in basketball tournaments. It's going to be a hula hoop tournament, a double dutch tournament. But everything will focus on our history, our culture. We want folks to walk away having had a great time, but having a better understanding of African American history and African American culture, because it is American culture.
Absolutely. And it's something that Milwaukee is very proud of. And we have been putting on these celebrations, forget the pandemic, but they've been going on and they've been very important. And I think it's something that everybody takes pride in. So I know you've been working very hard lately, but congratulations on getting all of this together, Tony, because it's hard.
Well, the Northcott team has worked hard, and we have a lot of members of the Juneteenth committee that are not Northcott employees. They're citizens that work around the city. They're both African American and European American. So we're all coming together to make this one thing happen, because we have one Milwaukee and we have one America.
What perfect way to end this segment, Tony. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon, and you're all invited, so we look forward to it. Thank you so much. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to introduce you to a Milwaukee royalty individual. We're going to tell you how a pageant is helping him build success. But first, let's meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week. Our friends at Hawes or the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County are getting ready for their kitten shower next weekend. You can find out all that information. Just go to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook page.
Hi, I'm Johanna with Hawes, the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha, and today I'm joined by my Positively Milwaukee friends, Huxley and Joey. Huxley and Joey. These guys are some of the adorable kittens we have available for adoption here at Hawes. During the warmer months, we have many kittens who are available for adoption, and we are always looking for donations of wet food and baby formula, which is called KMR, Kitten Milk Replacer. So if you are not able to adopt, but you'd still like to do something that's Positively Milwaukee, please go to our website and check out our wish list for more donation options. So if you're looking for a new feline friend who is Positively Milwaukee, please call us at 262-542-8851 for more information, or go to our website at hawespets.org to find out how you can adopt adorable Positively Milwaukee faces like these.
About her first 6 months, first year.
He found his new place here on King Drive.
Yeah, to pinch yourself a little bit.
Yes. You gotta realize that, is this me for real?
Dwight says Pepper Pot is a chance for him to share his Jamaican culture with the rest of the city, like the history of some of these amazing dishes.
I tell you this, the cow feet, the cow belly, and the cow tongue. These are stuff that they threw away. And this is what the slaves used to eat because they couldn't afford any, they couldn't get none of that stuff. So they'll eat these parts.
Now, oxtail is the part that everyone wants to eat. It's one of Dwight's most popular dishes.
We make this more like a stew, and with a gravy and over the rice. Ooh, they love it.
Dwight says that if the customers didn't know the food's background, it's a way to start a conversation. And so are these murals showing the faces of Jamaica, and it's a natural beauty.
One of the things people walk through and they look at the pictures on the wall, that's a conversation that they want to have. So, there's many things that, they would ask the bartender or the server.
And those conversations and the food they're about helps bring people together.
To see my growth and to see where I came from, it is a blessing, and I keep saying praises to the people of Milwaukee because they are the one who make this happen.
And Dwight says when he first opened the restaurant, he hoped to be off work and to just enjoy Juneteenth holiday. But he says now that he's on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, that goal is now out of the window. So he says he will be working and representing Pepper Pot on the big day. And those chefs might still be prepping all their food. But Juneteenth festivities have already started for some young people. Last night at the Freedom Ball, a new court of Juneteenth pageant winners were crowned. Cassandra McShepard talked to this year's Mr. Juneteenth about his accomplishments.
Jonah Dixon has already made some pretty impressive accomplishments.
Back in high school, I was a 3-sport student athlete, but also had a very large strength in public speaking, where I could learn how to express myself in different areas of life.
And last year, he topped off his high school career with another accomplishment, being crowned Mr. Juneteenth.
This pageant is all about expressing yourself and showcasing your talents.
Part of Jonah's winnings include a college scholarship.
College is rough when it comes to spending food, books, things of that nature, where it's necessary. Definitely helped.
Finances aside, Jonah's mom Regina says he's learned a lot of life lessons that are just as important.
He has the opportunity to be heard. He has the opportunity to show Milwaukee that, you know, all of our Black men are not the stereotype that the news is always portraying. We have some awesome young men who like to have a positive impact.
When it comes to my life, I have to put my studies first, put the things that I value first, where other people may not see the same value or may not have that same goal in mind.
And Jonah has some big goals to give back to his community. He's studying kinesiology at University of Wisconsin-Madison.
I'm actually going into the field of physical therapy where I can give back to the youth. I'm planning on becoming a physical therapist and coming back to Milwaukee to work at a children's hospital. That's my goal.
Jonah has a bright future ahead of him, one that Regina can see so clearly.
I think that's very important, to see their own self-worth and not just me saying who they are, but them believing who they are.
Now, if you missed the Freedom Ball and crowning ceremony last night, no worries. You're going to be able to see the entire royal court in the Juneteenth parade 1 week from today. Juneteenth is on Father's Day, and this year's celebration is a tribute to dads, teachers, protectors, and our heroes. So we wanted to ask you, what makes fathers so special?
Because they make little babies. That's what makes dads so great.
I guess paying attention to your kids and also supporting them no matter what. Like, even if they're doing something that you personally thought you would never want to do, support your kids in that. Pay attention to that, because they'll teach you a lot more than you know.
They really look out for their kids. They really sacrifice a lot. I know my own father, he sacrificed a lot for us kids.
He was very charismatic, never cared what anyone thought, just did anything that he wanted to do. Just absolutely great role model in all respects.
My dad did everything for me and my brothers.
Because they try, okay? They may not always get it right, but they try. Probably just their like little quirks that you kind of take on and you don't really realize like what like idiosyncrasies you take on from your dad.
Money, I guess. They give you some money for the casino or something, you know?
When they truly care about their children and they realize that they're a reflection of who they are.
My dad taught me how to ride motorcycles. That's pretty great.
Do you still ride today?
I do, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a big part of my life.
I'll be back with my quote of the week. At all times, climbing forward toward that higher ground of the harmonious society that shames the laws of man to the laws of God. That quote comes from Adam Clayton Powell Jr. He was the first African-American man to be elected to Congress from New York and any northeastern state. Powell represented Harlem for nearly 30 years and was a national spokesman on civil rights. He was well known for helping blacks get jobs in professional and skilled settings. Powell also worked to help African and Asian nations find independence from colonialism. And as we prepare for Juneteenth, let's remember all the progress we've made as a nation. And as always, let's stay positively Milwaukee.